today's class we're going to be looking at kind of developing, in English we call it developing an argument. An argument means your opinion, what you think. So it's not about conflict, it's not about fighting, it's just what you think. So for example, Mayland has an argument. He has several arguments, but he has an argument that students have duties and responsibilities, for example, and we can disagree with that. So we'll be looking at developing an argument because when you write your essay this semester, you need to have a clear opinion, a clear argument. And we'll also be looking at logic, which is very closely connected to the idea of an argument. And we'll look at this a bit later. All right, so what I'd like you to do, first of all, I'm going to put something on the screen. There are 2 missing words and there are 2 errors. So with your partner in a group of 3, what are the missing words? What are the errors? Just as a hint, number 2 and number 3, there's a very small error. The words are okay, but there's a small error, small problem, small mistake. Okay, let's have a quick look then. So, number 1, we've got a missing word or words. There are several possible answers here. Any ideas? Yes, Yuka, thank you.
Argue.
Argues. Argues. Thank you. That's possible. And what was the second one you said?
That.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Any other possible verbs we could use here? Yep. Anything else?
Present.
Sorry?
Present.
Presents. It's possible, but I wouldn't use it here. It's possible, okay? So, again?
Sorry.
Criticize. Not.
It's a sentence after the word. It's going to be like.
It doesn't quite work here. But yeah, it doesn't quite work. Sorry, Joe? If you discusses is okay, but you would need to change the grammar if you want to use discusses.
Maintains.
Who is that, sorry? Maintains that.
Emphasize.
Ooh. Anything else?
Stresses that. Stresses that.
Stresses that. Yep. Anything else? Thank you. That goes in here. Anything else?
Claims that.
Claims. Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Possible. Says that. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Declares them.
Ooh, wow, okay. One more. All of these are possible.
Announce them.
That's possible, but it's unusual. It's unusual. It's possible, though.
Point out.
Thanks. points out. Hat. Now, I've put all of these verbs are fine, but actually, what is the difference? The yellow, the white, the red, and then this one as well. What's, very quickly, with your partner, why did I put them in different columns? With your partner, 1 minute, what do you think? Let's have a quick look at this. Tokyo, what's the difference? The strength of feeling. So these are the strongest. These are quite strong. This is kind of this. And to me, you might disagree, and other ELA teachers might disagree. This, I don't know. Where does it go? I don't know. To me, this has no meaning. Well, not no meaning. It has very. Is it strong or weak or anything? I don't know. So generally, I would recommend don't use this. Generally, try and use one of these verbs that has meaning about how strongly you feel the idea. Okay. Number 2 and number 3. What's the small problem here? Very small. Missing comma. Okay. Thank you. What about here? We have 2 words here. Therefore. Therefore. And. So very often, therefore, people put at the beginning of a sentence, which is fine, but we can also connect it with and therefore. Oops. Argues, so I put here argues that, but actually maybe insists or emphasizes or declares is more appropriate actually, because he has a very strong feeling about this. Okay? For example, comma, furthermore, comma, and therefore. And I just put here, Mayland argues that students should not ask about exams, but this is a debatable point. So this student, does she agree or disagree with Mayland about exams? She disagrees. She's kind of saying, I don't really agree, but we don't do it directly. We have to do it gently, okay? All right, now, you need a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper. Okay, now, I'm going to read, or I'm going to say a sentence twice, and I want you to listen, and I want you to write the sentence. So dictation, okay? Dictation. However, I'd like to put your pens down. No pens yet, later, no pen, okay? No pen. Okay. I'm going to say it twice, and I want you to listen and think, and then I want you to write. Okay? I'll say it twice, so just listen and think. Therefore, Mayland's argument that students shouldn't ask about exams is unrealistic. Therefore, Mayland's argument that students shouldn't ask about exams is unrealistic. Number 2, listen, no pencil. Students' grades from tests and exams help decide their university and job. Students' grades from tests and exams help decide their university and job. Number 3. Students have to take many tests and exams. Students have to take many tests and exams. Okay, so here are the sentences. What I want you to do is think about Maitland's logic, the way he's thinking. So there are 3 sentences here from this paragraph that you just read, or 3 ideas from the paragraph. I want you to think which sentence should come first, which one is second, and which one is the final sentence. At the moment they're mixed, but with your partner I want you to think about the logic. First, second and third. Students have to take many tests and exams is true, generally. Most students all over the world have to do this. And their grades help decide their university and maybe their job. That's generally true. So if you think about this plus this, therefore, according to this writer, Maitland's argument that students shouldn't ask about exams is unrealistic. They should ask about exams because of this. Okay? So we call this your kind of logic. The logic, the way we are thinking. This is what I think. Why? Because of this and because of this. It's not easy. It's difficult. We'll come back, in this lesson, we'll come back to logic in about 20 minutes. We'll come back to it. And we'll also do some more next week and in the next class. Okay, now, for homework, I asked you to read the Patel article. Do not look at Patel. Don't look at it. Sorry. Don't look at it yet. What I'd like you to do with your partner, using your human computer, can you remember what's his main idea and what were his reasons? So main idea and reasons that he provides. Don't use your journal, don't use the text, just use your brain. 1 minute, go. Main idea, Azumi? Thanks, Azumi. And what were his reasons? He's got 4 reasons. 4 reasons? One of them? Anyone? Hibiki? Couldn't learn critical thinking. Thank you. Anything else?
Just acquire useless knowledge.
What did you say? What knowledge?
Useless knowledge.
Or useful?
Useful.
Yep. Karen?
The learning way was not effective for him.
And the last one, missed opportunities. What I'd like you to do, in your journal, this is his main idea, these are his reasons. I would like you to write a summary paragraph of this reading. And you have 10 minutes only. Don't worry too much about mistakes and grammar and spelling. Just think about the ideas. So you did a summary paragraph in the CWT. You did a summary paragraph in the homework over the weekend. Now I'd like you to write a summary of this article. Okay, let's stop there. If you haven't finished, don't worry. In a moment, I want you to read your partner's summary in a moment. And what I want you to do is read it and think about any language or any ideas that you think are really nice or clear or interesting that you would like to use in your summary. So maybe you've looked at the verbs and you think, actually that verb is much better than my verb, for example, or that piece of writing is very nice. I'd like to use that in my paragraph. So, reading only to learn and borrow from your partner. Okay, go. And when you've finished, I'd like you very briefly, very quickly to tell your partner what you like about their paragraph. Any words, any grammar, anything. When you're ready. So what I'd like to do now, if you give the journal back to your partner, and if you want to make any changes to your summary, please make changes, if you want to. Okay, let's stop there. If you haven't finished, don't worry. In Patel's paper, in his article, he argues that college did not teach him, or me, did not teach him about critical thinking. Here's the logic of his argument, but it's mixed up. With your partner, can you put the logic in the right order? This is what he thought, however, therefore. So this is his argument. College was a waste of time, and the reasons why connected to critical thinking. Next one. The section, the things I learned were useless. 30 seconds, go. I'd like to think for 2 minutes with your partner, the section, the way I learned was ineffective. What's his logic in that section? So you need 3 sentences. This, and therefore. So my hint, start with therefore, and then go backwards. Okay? You've got 2 minutes. Go. It's very difficult to do this, but if you can start to think about it, it will help your writing and your logic. So I think what he's saying here, the learning style was read and memorize. Sounds like high school. Very different from the way he liked to study. Therefore, it was a waste of time for him. He didn't learn very much. Now we'll do some more practice with logic for the rest of the semester, because we need to practice it. But think about it. Start with this, therefore, and then go back. Okay? Now, for your next academic reaction paper, see, everyone's smiling, that's great, I like that. So good. So the second reaction paper, I'd like you to write about this article by Patel. Here is the information about this. So the first thing is, you're going to write this with another student, another person. Okay? Any questions about this?
Why?
That is actually a great question. Why? Because I think if you work well, I think the main reason is if you work together, you can learn a lot from each other. A lot. And also, in the real world, not just in university, people work together to write things all the time. Okay? And so it's good practice to do that. Okay? That's why. Any other questions? Thanks, Karen. Good question, I like that. So you're going to work with another person, and you need to write it together. So when you give me the ARP, so for example, if Yuka and Saki are working together, if you can choose, only one of you needs to send me your paper. I don't need two, I just need one. But your names, both your names on the paper. Okay? So, summary. We need a summary of the article. And the good news about the summary? What's the good news about the summary?
We've already done.
You've already done it. You've just done it. Of course, it will need changing a little bit. You need to review it. But basically, you've done it. Okay? So this piece of paper that you wrote it on, do not lose this. This is gold, Joe. Okay? So you've already done it, but you'll need to check it and make sure it's okay. But that's fine. That's okay. And for the discussion, one paragraph only. Not two, just one. Okay? And I want you, with your partner, to discuss the paragraph. And it needs to be, you need to agree. This is the paragraph, and we're going to write it. For tomorrow, think about Patel's ideas again, his arguments. Think about them. Maybe make more notes in your journal. We're going to or you're going to discuss them tomorrow with your partner. Bless you. And maybe if we have time, we'll do some more writing tomorrow for your second reaction paper. Tomorrow's class in ILC 101. ILC 101 tomorrow afternoon. Okay? Any questions? Everybody okay? Thank you.